I think we probably would have won that game if Robert Sanchez lets that go.
No, you wouldn't.
1-0. I still think we probably would have won it. If Robert Sanchez doesn't get that red card, KG, we go 1-0 down, we probably win.
Do you know why? Do you know history's not on your side on this one? Because we checked the tapes. You lot can't win at Old Trafford no matter what happens. This is the worst Man United team ever created. Most teams, we played Arsenal, we lost to Arsenal, probably going to lose to Newcastle. But when Chelsea come to town, you can't touch us. And that's why I was on the phone. I called Joe Knight. I tried to call you. You didn't answer the phone because you was running like a bitch. That's what you was doing. You was no.
Welcome back to the kickoff. I am back with the lads to talk about the weekend's football. We're going to start with Arsenal, who drew it home to Manchester City. Jacob, I'm going to come to you because there was a lot made out of the way Arteta set up on that game. He started without Saka, Eze, Martinelli, and he started with Merino, and that resulted in Arsenal creating 0.00 XG in the first half an hour of the game at home. How did you feel with the way Arteta set up in that game?
Well, let me give you a bit of ITK to begin with, yeah. So I was at the training ground last week filming a bit of content for the Arsenal website of Miles, yeah. Ooh. So I seen the whole squad and Mikel was there. Now, I'll say this now, Mikel in person is not as small as he sometimes looks on camera. But when he put out that lineup on Sunday, he was behaving like the smallest man on the planet. Because small man syndrome it takes to be so spooked by Man City that you go conservative in Merino. Like, I can kind of forgive some of it because it's like we're without Ødegaard, we're without Havertz, who by the way, after 6 weeks of Gyökeres now, Havertz is our striker, right?
I was really hoping.
Saka
I was hopeful.
I did say it.
Saka not fit. I said it. Saka's not fit, yeah. So that's 3 of our 4 attacking players, 3 of our 4 best attackers not in the game. No Saka, no Ødegaard, no Kai, fair. So you have to have Eze on the pitch. It doesn't even matter whether it's midfield or left wing. You have to have Eze on the pitch. I always think with lineups, never mind what you want, what does the other team want you to do? And when Man City saw Trossard, rather than the pace of Martinelli or the ingenuity of Eze, and when they saw Merino, rather than Ethan, rather than Eze, they'd have gone,
Thank
you very much. Yeah. Perfect. They get their goal, first 9 minutes, it happens, you're up against the best striker in the world, he can do that to you. And after that, never mind what we do negatively, Pep went full Stoke, two banks of players, try and break us down. We've got the best keeper on the planet. It was like Lord of the Rings, mate. It was 2 freaks at the top and the back in Haaland and Donnarumma, and then a few little guys in the middle, and we couldn't break them down. And
what did you make of the response generally to going a goal down, just throughout the squad and Arteta's response?
I will say that the thing that makes me feel good is that at half-time, he went, okay, throw this out the window, Saka and Eze on. Right, fitness or no fitness.
But is that because of the injury, though? Is that because of the injury to Noni that he's done the Saka one?
I'll be honest with you, KG. I think if there was no Noni injury, it would have been Trossard coming off, Noni going left, and we would have brought Eze and Saka on anyway. I hope so, at least, because Noni was the best player in the first half. For all the criticism he had when he came from Chelsea, the graffiti on the walls of the Emirates saying we don't want him, he's been our best player the last 6 weeks. So wow. I'm glad that Arteta switched it up, but that needs to be his mindset for the season now. There is none of this, what we have, we hold. Let's go cautiously into games. No, you're 5 points behind before Liverpool have even integrated Isak into their lineup.
That's unbelievable.
If you want this title, you have to go and rip it off of them. You have to go and win games. And there can't be any more of this keep it tight first hour or so, then we make changes. Because that feels like it's been our tactic for the first few games.
Question for Josh and KG. You've obviously supported title-winning teams. I have not, unfortunately. Okay. So you've seen what it takes up close and personal. There was massive criticism of the level of celebration at the equalising goal towards the end of the game. What people were comparing it online to, if Liverpool had scored that goal, there would not have been that level of celebration. It would have been, get that fucking ball back to that centre spot. Let's go for the winner. And people are saying that on its own shows the lack of mentality Arsenal have. Is that fair or not?
I'm going to say it's unfair. The goal was absolutely phenomenal. Let's be fair. Like, that goal was ridiculous. Yeah. Donnarumma's in no man's land. Martinelli comes on and he scores a wick. It's a last minute goal. And you have to understand, City set up to not give them anything. So in that
There was 4 minutes left.
I understand that, but it's just a great goal. Like, sometimes, we have to enjoy football and say, that's really entertaining, actually. Like, I don't know how
Josh is shaking his head.
Go on, Josh.
I just think it's 5 points behind, Arsenal are 5 points already after 5 games behind Liverpool. The title is basically done now. We're talking about 5 games into the Premier League season.
City. You have to understand the level of the game, though. You have to understand the level of the game. If you get a draw against Man City at home, you can take that and say, this ain't the worst result in the world.
Let me turn it back on your head then. So when you were winning titles under Sir Alex Ferguson, you get a last-minute equalising goal. Do you think that Sir Alex Ferguson is allowing his players to go, to lose their heads and to not focus on the game and not worry about the next fixtures and get back into the dressing room and focus on the next?
Well, obviously, this has been an issue has been an issue with Arsenal, but you have to say that the flip side is this is the first time that I've ever seen anyone make City play like that. So that just goes to show they got 5-1 there last season, and they came there to say, we were scared. Pep was scared. I think the bigger story is, how does Pep look like that, spending all that money? I think that's a bigger story than the Arsenal thing. And that if I'm Arsenal, when they go to the Etihad, they're not allowed to play like that. It's more on Pep to come out, and it actually suits Arsenal in that thing. And all he's gone there is said, I'm scared of you. You've given him the centre of the ring. If in boxing terms, you've said, I can't manage with you. It's Crawford Canelo, bro. It's bad body language. That's what we're seeing right now from Man City. So I think it's more to cuss Pep than to cuss Arsenal. And I hate Arsenal.
When was the last time that Pep beat Arsenal, Jacob?
Not last season, maybe even not even the season before. We got a good record the last couple of years. I will just say to this celebration thing, Arteta was waving the players back from the touchline, and Zubimendi ran straight into the goal, grabbed the ball, and there was 2 City players holding him back. I think Martinelli runs off and celebrates. You've got to remember that Martinelli's gone from being our starting left winger to being arguably 4th choice behind all of Noni, Trossard and Eze. This is his 2nd goal in a week coming on off the bench. I kind of agree with all the points. I agree with what KG says about what the game means to us as a club. I agree with what you're saying, Josh, about the mentality. But I think between senior players and Arteta, there were people saying, come on, get the ball back and play, boys. I also agree that Martinelli, for him, for what's happened to his positioning in the squad, this is just a massive moment. And did I want us to go and try and win the game after that? Yeah. The first thing we had to do was change Zubimendi for a centre-back because Zubimendi was in a back 3 and they suddenly got the ball and tried to beat us, Man City. My main concerns about Arsenal aren't our mentality at the end of the game with 4 minutes to go. It's our mentality at the start of the game at home to a City team that aren't what they used to be. I think fix that. Not the mentality at the end of the game.
That would worry me, yeah, because to the point of KG, this is the worst possession that Pep has ever had in a game of football, I think. Something along those lines. It was terrible. And with all of that possession, Arsenal couldn't carve them open. And you do wonder, with the match winners that Liverpool have shown they've got, they're not always the most dominant side. Like, they had weak moments throughout the season, Liverpool, and yet they've got players who turn up when they need them. And that's that championship mentality. And it's just not what I've seen from Arsenal in that game. It's not what I wanted to see. And I was hoping that Gyökeres may be the solution to some of this. And it appears not, from according to Jacob. Can you just expand on that? And is there anything the other lads have to say about Gyökeres so far?
He makes about 9 touches of the ball a game. 3 of them are passes. And I think the biggest thing is, there are a lot of people defending Gyökeres saying, well, we need to play to his strengths. Martinelli came on and made a mockery of that. Because Martinelli came on, 1 run, he was found by Eze, straight away, he finishes. There's a couple of times in the first half where Gyökeres kind of makes half a run, we thread him through a bit, but he turns back on himself. I don't want to slate the guy, because the truth of the matter is we paid 56 million quid for him. It's 1 million more than you paid for Visser, Brian. And what's Visser's role in your squad? A squad of players who, with all due respect, are trying to get Champions League, not win a title. A £55 million striker to you is a reserve striker. And that is, in my opinion, that is the same as what Gyökeres will be for us when Kai's fit again. And he's not a bad reserve striker.
Crazy. That is crazy.
He's not a bad second striker.
That is mental.
KG, the market tells you what a player is worth. The reason we got Gyökeres at the price that we paid is because there was no competition. No one else wanted to say, if Arsenal are only paying 56, we'll pay 66. No one said that.
No, because he wanted Arsenal. He wanted Arsenal. That was the thing. He's had one choice.
Like, mate, another Champions League club comes in. He wants another Champions League club. I am not believing that a Swedish guy who played for Coventry and Sporting Lisbon is a diehard Arsenal fan. I know they've all got a shirt at the back of their wardrobe
with the shirt from a kid. He's an Arsenal fan.
They all do it. No, come on. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and slate our striker because he's not an awful player. He's got 3 goals. He's second in the Premier League striker league. Like he's not a bad player, but I think you're going to see when Kai comes back that he's still our star striker. And ultimately, I look at the other strikers who moved this summer. Ekitike is a very good player.
I've seen you in the chat. I've seen you in the chat, and you're showing
a lot more though. And this is the point. The reason we didn't do Seshko, and the reason he's gone to United is because we said we're not paying that. And the reason we said that is because we knew we wanted to do Noni Madueke and Eze as well. If you want to go all out and get and spend all that money on an Ekitike or a Seshko, which let's be honest wouldn't look much smarter right now.
I'm telling you, that guy, he'll find his form.
Okay, we'll get onto that. We'll get onto that. Chelsea went away to Manchester United, and within 5 minutes, the game was turned on its head. Maresca's having to bring players off and on. It was an absolute fucking nightmare for them. The keeper gets sent off early on. Josh, first thoughts as the challenge goes in?
To be honest with you, I've been saying all summer, I would have liked to have done that Man Utd deal. And I don't really understand why they didn't do that Man Utd deal. It was 20 million quid ready to go. It could have been done before the Club World Cup. He could have been in and ready. And they keep doing this. Chelsea are very good at the PR side of the game right now. And they go to the Chelsea fans, they go, we've got Mike Penders, this goalie at Strasbourg. He's going to be like basically the next Thibaut Courtois. Just get ready for him to come in. You don't want to block his pathway. And so all the Chelsea fans go, yeah, do you know what? That kind of makes sense, actually. Let's keep Robert Sanchez for another year. He's been all right. But yeah, it's another Robert Sanchez mistake. We know that they're coming. We know there are going to be more of them. And do you know what the worst thing is? It's only a 1-game ban. So he'll be back in there for Brighton. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, mate, brilliant. To be honest with you, like KG's going to laugh at me for saying this. I look forward to the ridicule. But like, I think we probably would have won that game if Robert Sanchez lets that go.
No, you wouldn't.
1-0. I still think we probably would have won it. If Robert Sanchez doesn't get that red card, KG, we go 1-0 down, we probably win.
Do you know why? Do you know history's not on your side on this one? Because we checked the tapes, and the tapes say that Prince George was born when the last time he beat us. The tapes say that it was Iron Man 3 just came out. The tape said, I'm just saying, you lot can't win at Old Trafford no matter what happens. This is the worst this is the worst Man United team ever created. Most teams, we played Arsenal, we lost to Arsenal, probably going to lose to Newcastle. But when Chelsea come to town, you can't touch us. And that's why I was on the phone. I called Joey Knight. I tried to call you. You didn't answer the phone because you was running like a bitch. That's what you was doing. You wasn't answering. Yeah, no, I know what happened.
You know what I love to talk to you, KG.
I'm so happy that we're here right now because guess what? You lot have got Onana. You've got your own Onana. We've left the raw Onana's gone and the new Onana stood up. And that is Frank Sanchez.
Onana gets assists. Don't be.
Yeah. Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Let me chime in.
Let me chime in. I just want to know, Josh, as you watched Esteval, Palmer and Neto all come off the field.
Bottled it.
And just to put context on it, earlier this season, Newcastle against Liverpool, which is the hardest game in the league, we went down to 10 men very early on in the game also, and we made an absolute fight of it.
Yes.
Yeah. I was very surprised against this Manchester United team that Maresca made, I feel like, cowardly substitutions in that moment.
Let's speak about it.
What were you thinking as those attackers were coming off?
I was thinking he's had a right panic and he's gone, I'm gonna lose my job. I've got to make some substitutions quick. And yeah, no, to be honest with you, he fucked it. Like the way that he brought, I mean, look, you know that there's lots of injuries in our team. You know that Cole Palmer isn't fully fit. And you know that, let's be honest, Pedro Neto has played in a forward position and in a striker position. There's no reason why he couldn't have left Pedro Neto on up front with João Pedro, split those two and play it. To be honest with you, he completely bottled it. And I think out of all the managerial performances that Maresca has done at Chelsea, that was the worst in terms of the tactics, the way he set up the team, and then the way he planned to set up the team with 10 men. He tried to rationalise it by saying, we only can defend against Man United with 10 men with a 5. And again, PR-wise, that kind of makes sense. But the problem is you have then no attacking ability. So if I'm being completely honest, the moment that those substitutions were made, the game was done. I knew we were going to lose the game, and it was as simple as that.
You know what's crazy? Because we talk about Chelsea and we talk about their window and how smart they are. But when you really look at Chelsea, they've been idiots. They have been idiots. I'm telling you now, Gittins, Garnacho, and they got rid of Noni. Now, if you look at when you look at those ones, is that a good deal? Absolutely not. Now they're looking at the strike force and letting Jackson go, knowing the lap was injured, knowing he came back. Stupid decisions. Then you look at your defense, Tosin and Chalobah. That's not good enough. So you lot spent £1 billion to still be shit, really. And that's why none of your fans can say, and I know, me talking as a Man United fan, how dare you? But take away the Man United thing, just look at it from a footballing perspective. You lot are poorly built together. It doesn't make sense because after everything that you've done, how is it this? And even your fans still can't say we're going to win the league. Now you're talking about...
You would love to have our squad.
Now you're talking
about... You would absolutely love to have our squad. If we do a combined 11 right now, all Chelsea players.
Let's stay here because we're the lowest of the low, yeah? Your manager got out-tacticked by Amorim. That's a sackable offence already. So we'll put that to the side. We're talking about Chelsea. Talk to me about your defenders. You've got Tosin, Chalobah. You've got Gittins and Garnacho. Is that upgrade on Noni Madueke? No, it's not. Your strike force is questionable. You can't do anything.
I want to stick off Garnacho. I can't believe he didn't get on that field because we all know that lad would have had a bee in his bonnet, a point to prove.
He would have scored.
Even before the game, they were asking him, are you going to start Garnacho? And he was like, I might start Garnacho. I put him in my fantasy team. I went, it's a knock and bet he's going to get a goal at Old Trafford. He didn't even see the fucking blade of grass.
He's felt it for 20 minutes and told him not to go on.
And now, a word from our sponsors. If you're sick of eating the same thing over and over and over again, and you're wanting to make sure that you are looking after yourself a bit better, then HelloFresh are going to save the day. I've used these guys before. It's very good quality food, and HelloFresh make affordable meals with no waste. And if you click the link in the description below and use our code TKO50, that's all block capitals, all one word, TKO50, you get 50% off your first HelloFresh box, 20% off your next 4 HelloFresh boxes, and free dessert for life. And the most important thing when you're eating your food isn't the price at the time, does it taste great? And yes, it does. Now, all you've got to do is click the link, go on to HelloFresh, and pick from over 50 recipes per week. So there's always variety on there for whatever you want to choose. In my last order, I went for a little noodle stir fry, a healthy chicken korma, and a quick spicy pork on rice, which might have been my favourite. They were all good, gotta say. And all the meals came pre-portioned with only the stuff I need, so there's no waste. And most of all, there's no faffing around, walking around food shops, wasting my time. And if I can cook them, lads, then so can you, and you can actually be looking after yourself. Eating well, especially if you like to go to the gym and all that, this is ideal. So if you want quick and easy, high-quality meals, then click the link in the description below or use the QR code on your screen now and check out HelloFresh. And remember, when you use our code TKO50, you get 50% off your first HelloFresh box, 20% off your next 4 HelloFresh boxes, and free dessert for life. Big love to HelloFresh for making me a little bit healthier, but for now, enjoy the video.
To go back to the point on the squads, I think if we do a combined 11, Chelsea win 9 out of those 11 positions, maybe even more.
Do you have Arsenal? Do you have Newcastle?
Mate, like, again, even with Newcastle, we should probably still do. They wanted João Pedro. They wanted half our wingers. They wanted half our team. Like, João Pedro gets in the team easily. Like, we have very good players. And this is not against Newcastle. What I'm saying is, mate, you are slagging off our squad and the way we've assembled our squads. You would kill to have some of our...
Can I just put some data to this conversation? And I want to bring Jacob into this as well, because despite Manchester United being accepted one of the worst versions of Man United we've seen, I made a note of this. They've had the most shots and most chances created and most XG this season. And Man United are 1 point behind Chelsea, despite Man United playing Arsenal, Man City and Chelsea. Chelsea, on the other hand, if we look through and I've been watching them this season, and the more the season goes on, the less impressed I am. The first game, all right, a draw against Palace, it's first game of the season. People are rusty. They beat West Ham. Everyone does. Everyone beats West Ham, right? But this is where it gets interesting for me. I watched that Fulham game and I thought, I can't believe how bad Fulham are, and yet Chelsea were lucky to win that game, in my opinion.
Yes.
Fulham are really good. I don't know.
I thought Fulham are good. I think Fulham, attacking-wise, was so bad in that game, and yet they still caused Chelsea problems. And then the Brentford draw. Then they lose to Bayern Munich. Then they lose to Manchester United. The more this season goes on, the more Chelsea's season is in jeopardy. They need, and I do think the point KG made about them letting Jackson go and being left with one striker while your other lad comes back. Delap comes back. I just think this had to be the season where Chelsea go from, all right, you're making Champions League, that's a success, to you're becoming more threatening to the league. I'm not saying you're going to win the title, but the amount of investment over the last few years, they're looking more and more like, okay, and I thought that's where this was going to go. So where
did you all, just say this now, where did you all predict Chelsea to finish in the league?
I'll tell you, Josh, a lot of people said Champions League. I said from the beginning, I don't think you will. And it's to Brian's point, it's your forward line. Everyone knows that the keeper's a joke. Everyone knows the defence has got holes in it. But for me, the work you did on that forward line in the summer, I don't think you improved. As KG said, is Jackson a worse player than João Pedro or Delap as a 9? I like João Pedro, by the way.
Statistically, yes, by the way. So all of the stats that you look at in terms of, and again, this might be difficult.
14 Premier League goals that aren't penalties for João Pedro over 3 years.
Jacob, for someone with the director of football that you have, this might be difficult to have. Bear in mind, you signed Gyökeres. But when you look at the squad and you look at the stats, bastard. goal conversion, both Delap and João Pedro have double the goal conversion of Nicolas Jackson. So wait, Jacob, one second. Let me just rewind to the end of last season, right? At the end of last season or middle of last season, we were sat on these calls and you were giving me loads of shit about how Jackson is a profligate striker, how you need to offload him. He's never going to be a guy that will compete for the title. And then as soon as we sign two strikers that actually do the striking job, as soon as they put the ball in the back of the net, suddenly it's now a mistake. So wait a second. Get your story straight.
Hold on.
Do you want Chelsea to have Nicolas Jackson up front? Or do you want players that actually fit the Premier?
This guy's
Let me reply. I agree. I agree that you needed an upgrade on Jackson. I don't think you've got it. I like João Pedro a lot, Josh. I don't think he's a goal scorer. I think he's a collaborative player that helps your attack come together. I'd want him as a 10. I think you can play Palmer right. I think you can play one of your wingers. And by the way, as KG says, all the wingers you've bought, none of them are better than Noni Madueke. Gittins is a work in progress. Neto's not there. Like you haven't got better. This is my point. It's Chelsea's midfield is brilliant. Caicedo, Enzo's come around now, really, really good. Palmer's brilliant. The defence's got holes in. The keeper's a problem. Your forward line isn't going to reliably score goals. And for a team that spent the money that you had, you should have bought a better goal scorer than either Liam Delap or João Pedro. João Pedro's a brilliant player. Pedro should play for Chelsea. He's a great player. He can play across the front line. He is not a reliable goal scorer. 14 Premier League goals that aren't penalties in the last 3 years. He's not going to do enough for you, mate.
I've got one more thing to add to this, lads. I do think that in previous seasons, the legend that is Cole Palmer has been unbelievable, and he's really carried Chelsea at times, but he is human. And as much as, and I love how Joey baits everyone with, I thought he was a one-season wonder. Well, he's not a one-season wonder, but it is looking like that one season is significantly higher than what he is going to be.
Brian, he's literally just been nominated. He's finished 8th in the Ballon d'Or, and we're saying he's a one-season wonder. What is even going on right now?
Can I just finish my sentence? I am not saying Cole Palmer is a one-season wonder. If you listen, yes. I am saying that season, that amazing season, could potentially be higher than what he is able to consistently deliver, maybe for a few more years, because he is so young. And to put as much pressure on Cole Palmer as Chelsea have done in the past isn't fair. And I don't think that they have brought in the players to alleviate that pressure. And if you look at him this year, not the great season he had. Now, I just read this on Twitter, but 37 competitive games so far this year. 8 goals, 7 assists. That is not bad. but it is certainly not the numbers that he was putting up when he was the guy, the man in the Premier League. So that's another thing that Chelsea have to contend with, is that Cole Palmer can't just carry this team in the way that he was.
And when
if we're worrying about Cole Palmer, there's bigger issues to
He was playing right wing.
He's literally our best player.
That season where he scored those goals, he was primarily playing off the right. Put it this way, Josh. If you'd have spent your money differently, you had Ekitike at 9, Pedro behind him, Palmer on the right, and any of those wingers, you'd be a much better team.
Much better team. Yeah, much better.
So look, the way that I'm gonna do this is, look, it's funny. We've just lost to Man United. KG will enjoy his time, and I hope he does enjoy it, because he's not going to have a lot more celebration. No, KG, you're not going to have a lot more fun for the rest of the season.
You don't get to tell me how I'm enjoying my time. You're having a minute right now.
Just literally do me a favour, KG. Just savour this moment and remember it, because you're not going to have many more this season. And that's,
what if we got Buffy at the table? What if we got Buffy?
Mate, I'm looking at the table now. I'm having to scroll down to see where you are. That's all I'm saying.
1 point. 1 point behind you.
There you go.
The best thing about this for KG is he gets to celebrate the win, but also we're talking about Chelsea rather than Man United. And I'll say that I think Man United was still crap.
They're still shit. Literally against 10 men for the whole game. They were still crap.
The dream is to win and not look at his team.
I'm the only guy that won this week. Put your hands up if you won. Only me, guys. Only me.
I love it, because what I love about it as well, right, is that KG's been so depressed for so long that one minor victory he will just celebrate it.
Do you know what? That's what it comes to, and I appreciate that. I've been there for many, many years. You enjoy it. Enjoy it, mate.
No, you're not.
Are you feeling any different? Just a quick one on Amarim.
No, we're seconds away from.
This is where it all comes out.
Away from. We're seconds away from the crisis. I know that.
We'll still get sacked, doesn't he, KG? He still gets sacked.
We'll be jumping on a call. We will do a little bit on Newcastle. Unfortunately, my team drew with Bournemouth. To be fair, Bournemouth away is a hard game, so it's not a end of the world disappointment. My disappointment came in the lack of creativity in that side. We had to rest Joelinton and Bruno because for some reason Eddie Howe didn't start Voltemada against Barcelona, and when we were on top, we had no one to put the fucking ball in the net. And it seems like we still not comprehended the fact that Anthony Gordon is not a fucking striker. Yeah, but we are missing and injured with this, so we just have to make do with it. But against Bournemouth, the narrative coming off the back of it among some Newcastle guys was, Voltemada's just a different kind of striker. We've just got to learn a different way of playing. I'm listening to them. I'm going, did you watch that game? We created 0.18 XG. Like, what the fuck is this lad supposed to do with that sort of service? Like, even Alexander Isak, prime Ronaldo, it wouldn't have mattered who the fuck we had up front. It was terrible. And our midfield at times last season, and this is what's scaring me a little bit, is because the level of pressure immediately on Voltemada, because of how Isak papered over the cracks. There were so many games last season where our midfielders were frightened to run and commit a man and try and open the game up, get good crosses in. I mean, we were relying on Jacob Murphy for 95% of it. And now we bought all these players. More should be being created. And it's a joke because under Isak, when we'd have those kind of games, a ball would just fall to him, he'd do something and he'd score a goal out of nothing and we'd get the 3 points and we'd rob teams because of Isak. And now other players need to fucking sort their shit out and start stepping up, because Voltemada in 2 games has had 1 chance and he's buried it. So to blame him and say he's not that kind of who is Alexander Isak? This is a nonsense here.
Are you not ready for Arsenal though? Are you not ready for Arsenal? Because usually you beat them at St. James's Park. Arsenal struggle there. Like, will this tell you a lot about your team? Well, here's the thing. We need a win, right? So I think that the desperation is building, and the fact that we are having to rotate more than we have in a lot, and we try to rotate, but we bought Jacob Ramsey. Lo and behold, the injury-prone player you signed, he's injured. And Vissa's injured. So I think that if we had those 2 players in the squad, it wouldn't be quite as difficult right now as what it's been. I think there's a bit of a false narrative around Newcastle having a bad start of the season. We played many games early on without a fucking striker. So the Arsenal game, I am worried about it because I got a lot of respect for them and I think it's going to be a hard game, but I do think it's winnable. Why not?
But, mate, welcome to life without Isak. Our clubs, mate, we've been doing this while you've been enjoying Isak for the last 2-3 years. We've all been watching these bums Welcome to the world without a world-class striker that all of us have been living through. Mate, I was watching the Ballon d'Or thing last night. You go through like the players who are in the top of that list. I mean, like, there's no strikers anymore. There aren't any. Josh has been watching Jackson. Now he's watching Liam Delap and João Pedro. Like,
all quality.
KG doesn't even want to talk about Benjamin Sesko. He's delighted we haven't had that conversation. Pulled off at half-time. Stinker.
How many games has Sesko gone without a goal? Is it 7? 6, 7?
He had an incredible header that went to Brian Mbeumo. He would have got an assist. Just saying.
Wow.
Would have.
Yeah.
Look at the scraps we're eating. This is shit. I'm waiting for Kai Havertz to come back. He's shit. There's no strikers anymore.
Do you know what it is, though?
You're in hell with us now, Brian. You're in hell.
I'm not though, because I actually think when Wissa is back, I actually think we've got a good front two, and we've got good options.
Welcome to hell. That's not it.
What are we talking about? When Visser is back, what are we fucking talking?
How old is he, Jacob? How old is he?
I'm going to put my balls on the line here, because this is what's annoying me. People are, in the Newcastle fan base, writing off Valdemar, not in writing him off, but saying, oh, he's not that kind of... I absolutely think this lad has got quality, and I've seen some lovely touches from him early on. Some beautiful dribbling from a lad so tall. He can hold the ball up brilliantly. He can bring other players into play, and when you give him the chance, the one chance he's had in 2 games, he's buried it. So I actually think we've got one of the better options, and I actually think watching Sesko and Valdemar, there is no comparison.
He can do exactly the same. Sesko holds the ball up and he's good in the air. He can do, but right now, I'm telling you, what Jacobs just said makes all the sense in the world.
Valdemar is going to score more than Sesko and Gyökeres. Maybe not Gyökeres, but...
Do you know the funny thing, Brian, on Valdemar? And we could talk about it the weekend if you want. I think he's really... I didn't know much about him before he came to the Premier League. He's a weird player, because where he's like as tall as Peter Crouch, you expect this guy who's just going to dominate a box and get on the end of stuff. I think he's a more creative player. He looks almost like a 10. He likes to drop off, likes to dribble. He's a good passer of the ball. I mean, if this is, as I say,
I think he can do it all, mate. In the way Harry Kane can do it all, the reason Bayern Munich wanted him to take over from Harry Kane is very obvious. He can do it all, this kid. It's just whether or not we're going to give him the fucking service. The reason he's having to drop off so much is because the rest of the team are fucking shit. That's what's happening.
This is copium. Anyway. Bride, this is copium. This is copium. I can see
We'll find out. But Ballon d'Or, lads, you mentioned it before. Personally, I think Mo Salah was robbed. I think the season he had was a generational season. The amount of records he broke, the fact that he carried Liverpool to that league title at such an age, I cannot fathom. I mean, yes, there's a Champions League winners medal on the guy who won it, but however, man, he's in a league where the numbers he did in a much weaker league is not comparable to Mo Salah. So how the fuck does that work?
Well, they took them PSG. PSG beat everyone, though. PSG beat the best that the UK could deliver, and they won it. So,
but it's not the same, KG. Like PSG were the best team in the world, in my opinion. But and I know that Josh's team have got a funny trophy on their chest that says otherwise. But I
disagree. Yeah.
This is about player. This is about single player.
And we played Liverpool last season. We played PSG 3 times last season, and they beat us twice. But I will say, who was I scared about? Was I scared about Dembélé as much as I was scared of Mo Salah? No, I wasn't. But we have to remind ourselves, the Ballon d'Or, the reason it's called the Ballon d'Or and not the Balloon d'Or is it's a French trophy. If you look at the top 12, 6 of them are PSG players. Obviously, they're going to lean towards a French player who plays for a French club who won everything last season. That's reality.
Nah, that's
I think
not nice.
If you're a Liverpool fan, you will be gutted, because look, Mo Salah, all of us, who are you more scared of playing tomorrow? If Dembélé comes up against your team or Mo Salah, who are you scared of?
Not even close.
Mo Salah.
If I've got Nuno, if I've got that wicked lockdown player that was lucky, and it's a shame where he finished in the table. I think it's like below Cole Palmer or something. And Nuno Mendes, he played a big part in PSG's
you're
run.
A hater. KG,
I'm just keeping real. I'm keeping real.
I honestly think that this is like a... Mo Salah isn't going to win a Ballon d'Or again, right? I don't think he's going to have another season like that. The fact that he's finishing his career without a Ballon d'Or, when Michael fucking Owen has got one.
You say that though, Brian. Like, let's be honest though, Liverpool got one of the best chances to win the Champions League this year. Bearing in mind they've got the squad that they've got. Like, we've seen it. I think there is too much waiting. We've said it in other ways here, but I think there's too much waiting on the team being successful to then crown the best player. There are really good players that are in teams that are never going to win trophies or have only won the league or only won a cup competition. And I think that plays too much a part of it. Really, in this calculation.
I think in terms of single contributors last season, there was no one who dragged their side more through games. Like that, the first half of that season for Liverpool, I mean, just unbelievable.
It's 57 goal contributions in 52 games for Mo Salah. And by the way, Dembélé was 49 in 53, and that's obviously
in a weaker league.
In Liga.
Well, you don't know that the Champions League defines it, though. They've always done it via Champions League. You win the Champions League, and they say, because we've seen people score more goals, and then it doesn't matter. We've seen that happen before. They say it's on Champions League. If you win that, that's what defines who's taking it.
Joke.
But even like things like Harry Kane not being in the top 10. It's just mad as well with the season that he had, again dragging Bayern Munich to where they were. Like,
in a weak league.
There were some but I mean, still like banging in goal, 37 goals. Harry Kane
in that league though. If you're going to keep the same energy, the league is pointless. How many titles did they won? They just win it back to back, and then sometimes give it to Dortmund.
Yeah. All right. I'll wrap it up there, bro. Been a good one, lads. Been a good one. We'll see what happens.
Very catchy.
I like it. These are my favourite ones.
Arsenal, Newcastle. See you Monday.
Oh, fucking hell, mate. Honestly. I really, really, really need to win this.
We have some predictions before we go. Yeah. Before we go, you two predict the result, please. Come on.
Newcastle win.
Okay.
Newcastle win. I'm getting Newcastle 2-1.
Okay, Jacob.
I think we'll do it 1-0. I think it'll be a really tight game, and I think it might be like a set piece that does it for us. I think it'll be super tight, but 1-0.
Okay, Brian.
I'll admit this is the most scared I've been of Arsenal because I think that they know how high the stakes are right now, and I also think obviously we're in a bit of a rough patch. But I'm going to say 2-1 Newcastle. So let's see what happens.
I'll add a little bit of spice on that. If that's true and we lose, title race done.
Oh,
it is, isn't it? I suppose, yeah.
And then when is Arteta pressure starting?
From that moment on, I guess.
Monday.
Yeah. Hopefully that happens. We'll be back Monday to pile the pressure on Arteta. Catch us on the next one.